Welcome back to the Suburban Ford 7 Sports Cave. Andre Drummond spent some time at Central Michigan tailgating with Coach Bonamego this weekend. And I know Mike Foss, our sports producer, who graduated from Central, would have loved to be there to show Andre the ropes.
Where
would you have taken him, Mike?
I'll tell you what, we are certainly happy to have Andre Drummond looking good in that maroon and gold, fully aboard the CMU bandwagon. He is welcome back anytime in Mount Pleasant. I heard he spent quite a bit of time in Mount Pleasant last night. It sounded like he had a good time up there. So yeah, he's welcome back anytime. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into what the people are seeing on Twitter this morning. A couple quick hits on Michigan and Michigan State. We'll start with P. Says, I think Michigan was a little starstruck by Tom Brady's pregame speech. And then we'll throw it back with a question. You guys started to touch on it a little bit earlier. If Michigan beats Wisconsin next week, do they become a playoff contender, guys?
Yeah, I think he said means Michigan State beating Wisconsin next week, playoff contender. I'm not ready with the team that is in place right now to say they're a playoff. I mean, they're going to be talked about, but to get into that top four, when you watch what Louisville did against Florida State, I don't put Michigan State's performance against Notre Dame over that. Notre Dame may end up being a fraud a little bit as you move forward through the season, because you're right, they're playing for nothing.
Right.
But what about what they can make the playoff if they win their home games, yes?
Yeah, I think they run the table and they knock off Ohio State again, and then that's when I think you could start saying this could be a playoff team. A lot like last year where they had a lot of victories. They had beat Oregon, they had beat Michigan, but until Geiger made that field goal in Columbus, then all of a sudden things changed and the stakes went a little bit higher. So I think you got a little bit of time to wait before you could say playoff contender.
Yeah.
Maybe, in the discussion, but on the outside, not necessarily on the inside.
In typical Mark D'Antonio fashion, the slow start to the season, not necessarily a bad thing because they can pick it up and make some noise later on down the road. All right, thanks for those tweets. We'll be sending your jerky, courtesy of Chef's Cut, in the mail here in the next couple of days. Coming up next, our final thoughts. They have to do with the Tigers and if they're even worth talking about moving forward. Coming up next on the Suburban Ford 7 Sports Cave. Stay with us.